Hey traders, in today's video I'm going to show you a powerful trendline trading strategy that most people overlook, but once you master it, you'll be able to spot high probability trade setups with ease. Here's a quick look at what you'll discover in today's lesson: how to draw trend lines correctly, how to trade using trend lines, how to use factors of confluence to find high probability trades, the trendline bounce strategy, the trendline breakout strategy, multiple timeframe analysis, real chart examples. By the end of this video, you'll have a complete trendline trading strategy to trade with confidence. Before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a new trading lesson. Also, drop a comment below and tell me what topics you want me to cover next. I always check the comments for new ideas. Let's get started. One of the most common questions I get is, how do I draw and trade with trend lines the right way? So let's break it down step by step. A trend line is simply a line we draw on our charts to connect swing highs and swing lows during a trending market. Let's start with a downtrend. Price moves in waves. We get a run, then a pullback, followed by another run. The lowest point before a pullback begins is called a swing low. The highest point before the next run starts is a swing high. In a strong downtrend, price keeps making lower highs and lower lows. To draw a trend line in a downtrend, we connect the swing highs along the top of the price action. This trend line acts as a dynamic resistance level. Now, let's look at an uptrend. Again, we have price moving in waves, a run, then a pullback, followed by another run, another pullback, followed by another run. The highest point before a pullback starts is a swing high. The lowest point before the next run begins is a swing low. In a strong uptrend, price continues to make higher highs and higher lows. To draw a trend line in an uptrend, we connect the swing lows along the bottom. This trend line acts as a dynamic support level. Now, keep in mind, real market conditions aren't always this perfect. Price doesn't move in a straight line, but this basic structure helps us understand the market flow. So why do we even draw trend lines? In fact, there are two key reasons. First, trend lines act as support and resistance. In an uptrend, the trend line acts as support. When price touches it, it often bounces back up. In a downtrend, the trend line acts as resistance. When price touches it, it often rejects downward. But never enter a trade just because price touches a trend line. Always wait for confirmation, which I'll explain later in this video. The second reason we use trend lines is that trendline breaks can signal trend reversals. In a downtrend, we place our trend line above price. If price breaks above this trend line, it could be an early signal of a reversal to an uptrend. In an uptrend, we place our trend line below price. If price breaks below the trend line, it could indicate a potential trend change to a downtrend. However, this is not a guaranteed rule. Just because price breaks a trend line doesn't mean the trend has reversed. You need additional confirmations, which we'll cover in the next section. Now that you understand what trend lines are and why we use them, let's dive into how to draw them correctly to improve your market analysis. Before we start drawing trend lines, here are a few key principles you need to follow. A minimum of 2 touches is required to draw a valid trend line. The more touches, the stronger the trend line. But remember, more touches don't guarantee that the trend line will hold the next time price reaches it. Trends are rarely smooth and perfect. Markets are choppy, messy, and unpredictable. Don't expect price to respect a trend line perfectly every time. As you can see, the price broke below the trend line but then closed above it. Here, the price did not respect the trend line and broke through it. Treat trend lines as zones, not exact lines. Think of trend lines as guidance tools rather than rigid, precise levels. Price will not always respect the trend line religiously. As you can see here, the market retraced and bounced up before even touching the trend line. The same thing happened here. It bounced up before reaching the trend line. This shows that trend lines are not precise levels and the market will not always respect them perfectly. However, as a trader, you should draw the trend line and remain disciplined. As you can see here, this time the market provided us with a great opportunity. Price retraced, retested the trend line, got rejected, and then moved upwards. Don't force trend lines. If a trend line is obvious and helps your analysis, draw it. However, if price action is unclear and there's no logical trend line to place, it's best to leave it out. As you can see here, the way we initially drew the trend line is incorrect because we tried to force it, ignoring this touch, which is a mistake. Here we are attempting to force a trend line where it doesn't naturally fit. The correct approach is to draw the trend line properly, following the actual price structure, and then wait to see how the market reacts. One of the most common questions traders ask is, do I draw my trend line through the wicks, the candle bodies, or both? Here's the answer. Always draw your trend line where you can get the most touches. Let's break it down with an example. Here's a clear downtrend. If we draw the trend line to align with the most swing points, you'll notice it touches both wicks and candle bodies. At some points, it aligns perfectly with wick ends. At other points, it cuts through a wick and touches a candle body to maintain consistency. The key takeaway? Your trend line should hit as many key points as possible. Here's another example. For the bottom trend line, we connect the swing lows using the same logic. The trend line touches wicks, candle bodies, or both, whichever gets the highest number of valid connections. So don't overthink it. Trend lines are tools, not laws. Use them to guide your analysis, not as a strict rule for entry and exit. Now that you know how to draw trend lines correctly, let's take it a step further and learn how to use them in combination with price action to find high probability trade setups. But before we continue, if you're getting value from this video and want more content like this, hit that like button and comment below with your thoughts or questions. Your feedback helps us create the best trading content for you. We use trend lines in combination with price action in two main ways. First, trend trading with trend lines. This means trading in the direction of the trend. Second, reversal trading with trend lines. This helps identifying potential trend reversals. Let's start with trend trading first. One of the best ways to trade with trend lines is by looking for areas where support or resistance aligns with a trend line, also known as high confluence zones. A high confluence zone is an area where multiple factors align, making it a strong potential trade setup. These are areas where many traders are watching, leading to higher trading activity and potentially stronger price reactions. Let's walk through a real example to see how trend traders use trend lines and confluence for high probability trades. First, we determine the overall trend. If price is making lower highs and lower lows, we are in a downtrend and look for short opportunities. If price is making higher highs and higher lows, we are in an uptrend and look for long opportunities. In this example, we confirm that we are in a downtrend, so we're only looking for short trades to stay aligned with the bigger picture trend. Next, we place our trend line by connecting at least two swing highs in this downtrend. We extend the trend line forward to act as a future resistance level. This allows us to anticipate potential trade opportunities if price retraces back to the trend line. We then look left on the chart and spot a previous support level that price has now broken below. This level is likely to act as new resistance when price comes back up. We mark this area as a key level. Now we check where our trend line and resistance level intersect. This is the high confluence zone because multiple traders are watching this area for potential short opportunities. We do not enter blindly, we wait for price action confirmation. Now you might be thinking, if we've identified a high confluence zone, why not enter a short trade immediately when the price touches it? The answer is simple, because the price can still break through these areas and reverse. That's why we always wait for confirmation. As price reaches the high confluence zone, we closely monitor its reaction. A bearish rejection appears when the price touches the area. This is typically indicated by two red bearish candles rejecting from the level, but this is not an entry signal yet. A reaction alone does not mean a reversal. Many traders make the mistake of entering a trade as soon as they see a price rejection, but this is not enough confirmation because price could still break through the level and start an uptrend. Here's the trick to confirm the trade. We draw a short-term trend line on the immediate move up and wait for a break of the trend line before entering. Why is this important? Because while the overall trend is bearish, the short-term trend is still bullish. If this short-term bullish move continues, it could break through the high confluence zone and trigger a larger trend reversal. That's why we need a short-term trend line break to confirm that the short-term uptrend is over and the bigger downtrend is resuming. Alright traders, now that you understand how to use trend lines in a downtrend, let's flip the script and talk about how to trade an uptrend effectively using trend lines and price action. Before we do anything, we need to confirm that we're in an uptrend. So what does an uptrend look like? It's simple. Price is making higher highs and higher lows. Every pullback in the market doesn't break the previous low. Instead, price keeps pushing higher. Once we see this pattern, we know we're in an uptrend, and our focus should be on buying opportunities rather than selling. Now that we've confirmed the uptrend, the next step is to draw a trend line that helps us spot trade opportunities. Now, what does this trend line do for us? It acts as a support level where price is likely to bounce and continue higher. Now, let's take it a step further. We don't just want to trade off any trend line touch, we want to find high confluence zones where multiple factors align. Look to the left on the chart and identify previous resistance that has turned into a support level. If a key horizontal support level aligns with our trend line, that's a powerful area where buyers are likely to step in. These confluence zones give us higher probability trade setups because different types of traders, support and resistance traders, trendline traders, and price action traders, are all watching the same area. And when that happens, trading activity increases, making price movements more predictable. Now comes the fun part, waiting for price to come back to our trend line. But here's the key, we don't enter the trade just because price touches the trend line. Instead, we wait for confirmation. How do we confirm that buyers are actually stepping in? Look for price action signals like a bullish rejection candle, multiple failed attempts to break below the trend line, a strong bullish momentum candle pushing up after touching the level. In this example, we have a tailed bar that was rejected, indicating a strong buy signal. Now, here's a trick to increase the probability of a winning trade. Draw a short-term trend line over the pullback. As price moves down toward the trendline support, it usually forms a mini downtrend. By drawing a short-term trend line on this pullback, we can wait for a break to the upside before entering. But remember, this is not a rule of thumb. You can enter immediately after the formation of a price action signal. If you are a very conservative trader, you can apply this rule for extra confirmation. Personally, I enter immediately after a price action signal forms. Even though sometimes the market reverses and the trade hits my stop loss, I accept the loss because, in the long run, most trades follow the trend line and the rewards are bigger. Now that you know how to draw trend lines, spot confluence, and use price action, it's time to put everything together with one of the most powerful trendline trading strategies, the Trendline Bounce strategy. This is a trend-following strategy, meaning we trade in the direction of the existing trend using trendline support and resistance. Let's go through two real examples, one in an uptrend and one in a downtrend, so you can see exactly how this works. Look at this chart example. The market is clearly trending upwards with higher highs and higher lows. We draw our trend line below price, connecting the swing lows. The goal is to capture the trend structure, so we can look for trade setups. As expected, price pulls back to touch the trend line, but instead of bouncing immediately, it briefly breaks below the trend line before closing strongly back above it. A bullish engulfing candle forms, signaling buyers stepping in. Here's why this setup is so powerful. The market triggered the stop-loss orders of retail traders who were trying to buy at the trend line. At the same time, traders who thought this was a breakout jumped in, expecting a bearish move. But the market reversed sharply, trapping those traders and confirming a liquidity sweep, a strong sign that the retracement move is over and the uptrend is likely to continue. Since we're trading on the 5-minute chart, we zoom out to the hourly chart to confirm the bigger picture. The hourly chart shows that the market is ranging and price performed a liquidity sweep at a support level. This tells us that buyers on the higher time frame are likely to push price up toward the next resistance level. Now we have high confluence confirmation that the uptrend should continue. To execute the trade, you can enter at the close of the bullish engulfing candle. Set your stop loss below the engulfing bar's low to protect against unexpected reversals. Target the next key resistance level, aiming for a 2-to-1 reward to risk ratio or better. Now, look at another example. The market is clearly in a downtrend, making lower highs and lower lows. We draw our trend line above price, connecting the swing highs. Again, the goal is to identify a clean structure so we can plan our trade. As expected, price pulls back to the trend line, creating a potential short opportunity. Price touches the trend line and gets strongly rejected, forming a bearish pin bar. This rejection signals that sellers are stepping back in to continue the downtrend. The wick of the pin bar shows that buyers attempted to push higher but failed, allowing sellers to take control again. Just like before, we zoom out to the hourly chart to get a bigger picture confirmation. The hourly chart shows the market was trending upwards but formed a double top, a strong reversal pattern. There was also a clear liquidity sweep at the resistance level, trapping buyers. This confirms that the market is now likely to move downward toward at least the next support level. To execute the trade, you can enter at the close of the bearish pin bar. Set your stop loss above the wick of the rejection candle. Target the next key support level, again aiming for a 2-to-1 reward to risk ratio or better. This strategy works so well because it follows the trend, which naturally increases win probability. It uses liquidity sweeps, taking advantage of trapped traders. It combines multiple confirmations. It provides high reward to risk trades, meaning even with a few losses, the wins cover them. This is one of the best ways to trade using trend lines. Alright traders, now that we've mastered trendline bounce trades, let's talk about another high probability setup that can help you catch trend reversals early before the big moves happen. The trendline breakout strategy. This is where we flip the script and take advantage of trendline breaks to enter trades at the perfect moment. But here's something most traders get wrong. Not every breakout means a trend reversal. A lot of traders jump in too early, only to get caught in a fake breakout and stopped out. That's why we're going to do it the right way, with confirmation. So, let's break it down step by step. Breakouts don't just happen randomly. There are clear warning signs that a trend is about to shift. Your job as a trader? Recognize this change before the breakout happens so you're ready to take action. Look at this chart example. The market is trending up, so we draw a trend line below price to connect the swing lows. Suddenly, price fails to make a new high and starts forming lower highs. Then, price breaks below the trend line, confirming that sellers have taken control. This is our opportunity to go short. Look at another chart. Example, the market is trending down, so we draw a trend line above price to connect the swing highs. Suddenly, price fails to make a new low and starts forming higher lows. Then, price breaks above the trend line, signaling that buyers are stepping in. This is our opportunity to go long. But here's the key. A trend line break alone is not enough. We need extra confirmation to make sure it's real. This is how you avoid false breakouts. A double rejection pattern happens before the breakout and gives us extra confidence that the trend is about to reverse. As you can see, the market is trending up, but suddenly it fails to make a new high and forms a double top. This tells us that buyers are struggling and that a reversal could be coming. When price breaks below the trend line, we now have two confirmations: momentum loss and a trend line break. This is a strong sell setup. Look at another chart. The market is trending down, but suddenly it fails to make a new low and forms a double bottom. This shows that buyers are stepping in to defend support. When price breaks above the trend line, we now have confirmation that a reversal is in play. This is a high probability buy setup. By waiting for this extra confirmation, we avoid getting trapped in weak breakouts. Until now, everything is going according to plan, but we must not forget an essential component of this strategy: multiple time frame analysis. Let's break it down with a real example. As you can see here on this 5-minute gold chart, the market has been trending upwards and we've identified a well-defined trend line. Now, what happens next is critical. The market breaks below the trend line. But before we jump to conclusions, let's take a closer look. If you check above, you'll notice two key signals: a double top pattern and a clear liquidity sweep. Here's what happened. The market broke above this level but immediately closed back below it. This move was designed to grab liquidity, trigger stop losses, and then reverse direction. The trendline breakout confirms the trend reversal, but we need one more step to increase our confidence in the trade. Let's zoom out to the hourly time frame to see if the bigger picture aligns with our 5-minute chart. On the hourly chart, we find even more confirmation. The trend line has also been broken. Another liquidity sweep occurred at the double top just before the breakout. But here's something even more significant. Check this out. We now see a clear order block. Once it was broken, it turned into a breaker block. Now, look at the price action. When the price retested this breaker block, it was rejected. The rejection candle engulfed all previous candles, signaling strong bearish momentum. With the hourly time frame confirming a bearish outlook, we return to the 5-minute chart. Now that we have alignment between the higher time frame and our trading time frame, we can execute the trade setup with confidence. Place your entry at the close of the bearish candle that confirmed the rejection. Set your stop loss just above the wick of the rejection candle. Aim for the next support level, ensuring a 2-to-1 reward to risk ratio. By aligning multiple timeframes and incorporating key market signals like liquidity sweeps, breaker blocks, and engulfing candles, this trade setup becomes a high probability opportunity. Stick to the process, trust the strategy, and let the market do the rest. Now that you understand the strategy, let's talk about a crucial step that takes it to the next level: top-down analysis. This approach is essential because it ensures that your trades align with the broader market context, increasing your chances of success. Whether you're scalping, day trading, or swing trading, here's how it works. If you're trading on the 5-minute or 15-minute time frame, your higher time frame is the hourly chart. You'll use the hourly to spot the overall trend and key levels and then refine your entries on the lower time frame. If you're a day trader working on the hourly time frame, your higher time frame is the daily chart. The daily chart will help you identify the bigger trend and key zones that the market respects. For swing traders trading the 4 hours time frame, your reference is the weekly chart. The weekly gives you the broader perspective needed to hold positions with confidence over several days. And if you're someone with limited time, trading the daily time frame, your higher time frame is the monthly chart. This lets you focus on long-term trends and make informed decisions without constantly monitoring the market. That's it for this video. Now you know how to trade trend lines effectively using confirmations and multiple time frame analysis. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more trading content. Let me know in the comments how you use trend lines in your strategy. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.